Hey, and welcome back. Today, we're talking about something that we use every single day, but probably never think about when it comes to our health. It's our eyes. Here at Make Time Wellness and on this podcast, we center everything that we do around the brain. But what if I told you that your eyes are actually one of the biggest gateways to your brain? It impacts your mood, your energy, your focus, and even your long term cognitive health. We're joined by Dr. Meenal Agarwal, a board certified optometrist and a true pioneer in neurovisual wellness. Her work sits at the intersection of vision, neuroscience, and lifestyle, helping us understand how the way we use our eyes every single day is shaping how we feel and how we function. In this fascinating conversation, we get into everything from screen fatigue and dry eye, especially for women in midlife, to simple, actionable shifts we can start making today to support both your vision and your brain. If your eyes have been feeling tired, dry, or just not what they used to be, this episode might be the wake-up call you didn't know you needed. So let's make time for Dr. Meenal.
Hi, everybody. We're so excited to have Dr. Meenal with us today on the Make Time podcast. Thank you, Dr. Meenal, for coming on today to talk to our listeners. We're really excited to have you.
Thank you so much for having me.
We would love to hear a little bit about you and what you do.
Yeah, so I'm an optometrist. I'm an eye doctor, and my focus is eye health and wellness and how it's, kind of related to the body and how it's such an under talked about organ of the body. And, we don't ever talk about it in the wellness space. And I also have a podcast called Uncover Your Eyes, The Truth About Health and Wellness. And that was kind of born from that idea where, we don't talk about eye health. And I want to uncover those things that we don't talk about as much. And yeah.
Why do you think we don't talk about eye health? What do you think that is?
I think because, I want to say it's our fault, as eye doctors, we never really explain the importance, especially when I was younger. I don't feel that I went to the eye doctor and I was taught about my eye health and how to take care of my eyes. We're taught to brush, twice a day, but we don't talk about lid hygiene, makeup hygiene. And all we think it is really a place where we get our prescription and get our glasses so we can see better. But we don't talk about the organ itself and how to make sure it's healthy and we can take time out of our day to care for it.
You know what's interesting is that when I went to my optometrist, whenever it was, let's say 6-8 months ago, I go in yearly as my eyes are deteriorating with age. He gave me some eye exercises to do, which I thought I had never heard of an eye exercise in my life. And he was telling me, I can't even remember what it is because I don't do them. I'm not making time to do the eye exercises that he was telling me, but I appreciated that he took the time to tell me, like, these are some exercises that you should be doing. Is this something that you tell your patients as well? Like certain things to do to help their eye health?
Yeah, I think, eye exercises are great, especially for certain people, certain situations. They're helping to strengthen our eye muscles. And what we don't realize is that we have external eye muscles right outside our eyeball controlling movement. We also have internal eye muscles that are helping to focus up close and far away. So strengthening eye muscles is great. Just like, we are told after we're 40 to start, lifting those weights. It's so important to do exercises and certain ones that are beneficial for your situation. But there's so many more prevention topics that we don't talk about. Getting, daytime sunlight to help regulate our circadian rhythm. That has to go through the eyes in order to signal our brain that it's wake up time and to regulate, our hormones, our stress levels, everything, our mood. And that's all related to the eyes. So we don't talk so much about those prevention tips. For women, your makeup routine, something as simple as that, again, back to the brushing analogy, we're told to brush before we sleep, but we're not told how should we remove our makeup. So many women are still using oil-based removers that just go and further clog our oil glands. And post 40, estrogen, androgens drop. We get dry eye disease. Women suffer for it. It's one of the primary symptoms of menopause or perimenopause. But then we're topping that up with makeup, and then we're not removing it properly, and we're using an oil-based remover and clogging those glands further. So I feel like there's so many things that we can talk about prevention-wise, but it's never discussed.
If you could just tell the women listening, like, why do you think it's so important that they make time for their eye health?
I think it's important because, I'm going to take it a step further back for a second and talk about the brain. 50% of our brain is actually processing vision. It's a crazy stat, but all the areas of our brain are used in processing vision, whether it's depth perception, color, fine lines, the way you're shaped, where you are in relation to space, your mood, even looking at somebody and seeing they're happy. That's all going through the visual processing areas. So if your brain is capacity, 50% is spent in processing vision, that is an important organ that I don't want women to dismiss. And the stat is those with cognitive disorders. I mean, I think it's up to 60% of them have some form of vision and or hearing loss. And the reason, because the brain and the eyes are so heavily linked. So if I wanted women to take care of something to help with their brain health, it would be their eyes and, obviously your hearing and all those other senses. But eyes is the biggest one because it takes up the biggest real estate in our brain. And we know that women are more prone to cognitive and neuro disorders than men. We live longer, but we tend to be more prone to them because of our hormone changes, especially, post 40. That's one of the biggest reasons.
That's so interesting. So, I mean, I'm love to tell on myself. So I'm going to tell on myself here. I have glasses. I don't wear them frequently. I wear them to drive. I'm just starting to lose my, I can't read the bills anymore. So I need to go get some readers. But can you, for people listening that are at phase 1, right, or on the ground floor, how give us some tips on how to take care of our eye health. Sorry.
Yeah. I mean, I think the biggest culprit is screens or the near things that we're holding up, and it's usually arm's length distance. Taking breaks is key. So that's the number one tip. I want everyone to make that actionable today. And the kind of rule of thumb, we call it the 20-20-20 rule. So it's every 20 minutes for 20 seconds, look 20 feet or far away. So every 20 minutes, we want you to look far away so that your muscles can actually relax. When you are looking up close, think of it as lifting a weight. Your muscles are actually strained and you're sitting on your computer for 3 hours and your muscles are holding that weight for 3 hours. We want them to relax by looking far away. So the 20-20-20 rule is number one.
Wait, sorry. So it's 20 minutes you're looking at a screen, 20 seconds to look away.
So every 20 minutes for 20 seconds only. So just quick, look far away. It could be like you're on your computer and if you have a window next door, just glance outside for 20 seconds. It's very fast. And then come back to your screen.
To the side so hard.
You're going to do that now. We haven't been on for 20 minutes, so you're good.
Oh, we've been on.
We've been on.
Oh, okay.
We've been on. Yeah. Okay. This is great. Okay.
I mean, I have to just click in on this because I can be locked onto my computer monitor. I mean, doing really heavy lifting for long extended periods of time. And so I think that, so much that, my eyes burn there. And so talk to us about what's happening with these screens. Like if you're like me, you're on a 14-hour day, you're on Zooms, you're creating documents, you're like in your computer. And then if you're not in your computer, you're on your phone, then you go back to your computer. So it's definitely not 20 feet. So for people that are just grinding like that, like, what are you doing to yourself?
You're losing your muscle strength. That's essentially what's happening. Again, comparison to lifting a weight all day, you're going to be tired. Your muscles are going to lose that elasticity. And therefore, you are going to be into a prescription much sooner and it's going to increase. And, when I first started practicing like 18 years ago, I I would tell people that your prescription stabilizes, at some point in life. I don't say that anymore because then people get mad at me that, oh, you told me by the time I'm 30 or 40, things will stabilize. But at that time, we weren't heavily reliant on these devices. So I think, yes, your muscles are going to get tired. Things are going to get worse and increase. But you touched on it a little bit of a dryness. So when you are staring, so you're supposed to blink you're supposed to blink 15 to 20 times every minute. And when we stare at a screen, subconsciously, we're only blinking 5 to 7 times. The action of the two lids touching actually increases tear production and helps to lubricate our eyes. So we are getting drier when we're on a screen. Therefore, our whites of our eyes get redder, more inflamed, more irritated, and we're uncomfortable. Bottom line is, and it affects women more because we already go through perimenopause and menopause where we're getting drier, and it's a double whammy because we're going to sit on our screen. And like you said, we go from a computer to our phone to checking, our kids' schedules, back to the computer, back to the phone. Like we're back and forth, and it's really affecting us.
Or so you talk about losing that elasticity. Can you get that elasticity back?
So part of it is age related, right? So, sometimes I'll be asked that and I'll say, well, it's like, we're going to get older. That's inevitable. It's going to happen to all of us. But can we slow that rate down? Absolutely. And by taking breaks, by, if your eye doctor recommends eye exercises, relaxing your muscles. And again, another actionable tip is in the mornings, taking that 10 minutes without sunglasses. So I know most eye doctors will talk about sunglasses and UV protection, but I'm going against that in the mornings because that's when the UV is the least. So in the mornings, we get good red light, and that is so important to regulate us, our mood, relax our body, relax our muscles. And so having that 10 minutes in the morning, I feel, is a key strategy for women or anyone to really to have.
What's interesting is that when we were during COVID, I just remember being so much more on my phone and watching the news. That is really when I started to see a dip in my eyesight. Then I was kind of using readers just periodically. But now, I'm readers. I'm in bifocal world now. And I really did see that dip with COVID and being on my phone. And now, screens and computers, like you said, we're just consistently on it. But this is a great conversation because this is good. This is good to know.
And it affects us cognitively. We talk about all the cognitive elements, especially for kids. That was a big one during COVID. We would talk about the screens cognitively affecting them and how, it's not great for them because they're just staring at a screen all day. But no one talked about the vision changes that they were going to experience. So after COVID, when everyone started going back to school and they had to look at the board far away, we saw a rise in nearsightedness like there's no tomorrow. And, kids would be coming in like 6, 7 years old with a -4 prescription, and parents both would say, but we don't have glasses. Grandparents don't have. Why does she have glasses? And I'd say, well, how much are they watching screens? And they'd be like 2-3 hours a day. Like, okay, that's not, what we recommend. And the stat is by the year 2050, 50% of the world will be nearsighted.
Wow.
That's just one aspect. So that's needing glasses for far. 50%. And we're on track. We're at 40-something% now. So we're on track for that.
How do we change that? Like in the workplace, in schools, at home. I know you talked 2020, but like, do we revert to paper? I'm really curious on how do we actively be the change in this? Because that's scary.
Well, especially in this day and age when everything is screens.
Yeah, I think so. Two separate aspects. I'm going to talk about the parents first. I think for me, the biggest thing is removing your devices at nighttime before you're sleeping so you can get good sleep. So an hour or two before bed, if you can place that phone in another room, you've already got 1 to 2 hours before bed of screen-free time. Having those screen-free periods is very important. And when you wake up in the morning, don't look at your phone right away. Again, cognitively, it's affecting you, changing your mood, but also your eyes. So giving yourself a couple of those periods of screen-free times are important. The problem is the working class that working from home, which majority are, and you're sitting on a computer all day. So I am going to say just have those breaks if you can. Stretch your legs, stretch your muscles, stretch your eyes, look far away. That's all you can do in your working time, but screen-free periods and making it a point to put it away is huge. And what I'll do personally is I'll leave my phone upstairs and go downstairs in the evenings with my kids. And then I'm too lazy to climb the stairs to go get it. So, know your body, know yourself. And for children, I'm going to say, you're the parent. So, my biggest pet peeve is teenagers scrolling at nighttime under their blankets. Take the phone away. Make sure that they know they have to leave it outside their room somewhere, because you're just adding hours and hours of nighttime of blue light that's affecting their circadian rhythm, their sleep. And again, like cognition, vision is being affected. So having screen-free times is important. And for us to set that standard for our children as well.
Can I ask if blue blockers work? Like if you have them on your glasses, I have some on like my phone screen, my computer screen. Does that work?
Yes. So, blue light is actually the shortest wavelength that we have of visible light, but it has the most scatter. It has very high energy and a lot of scatter. So when you're looking at a screen, it has all visible light, including blue light. The blue light scatters the most and therefore causes eye strain because you have to focus through that scatter. So having a blue light coating on your glasses helps to filter some of it, not all of it, but it helps to filter, 20 to 30% of it, which is great. Anecdotally helps patients feel less eye strain. But one big thing I want to say is when you get those, kind of cheap dummy glasses with just a blue light coating, a lot of them don't filter enough. And a lot of them don't have an anti-reflective coating on them. So you're cutting out some of the blue light, but you're adding so much more reflection. So to me, I just say, don't get blue blocking glasses if you don't already wear glasses. If you wear glasses, add that coating on, but don't go out and buy random, cheap kind of blue blocking glasses. It's not worth it. It doesn't make sense to me.
That's good information. I think just thinking about it, if I was a teenager and I had a phone, I would be on that phone all night long. Honestly, can you imagine?
No, I couldn't. I'm so happy that I didn't have a TV in my room.
No, me either.
All I had was
go outside.
Or a timer, but not a timer. What the heck do you call it?
I had a cassette deck.
Like an alarm clock. Alarm clock that would go off and play music. That is what I was listening to.
What I just got in my kids' rooms was we just got jacks installed because we didn't, when we got our house, we never thought to have jacks installed everywhere, right? Because we just didn't think about it. And kids,
wow.
So we got jacks installed there, and I actually just bought them remember those phones that we had where we just picked up and dialed? Yeah, I got them those phones. So I'm like, okay, so now if you need to call your friends, we have our house number and I need you to use that. So I think that's a big shift that a lot of people are making to having that ability for them to at least talk to their friends.
A landline.
Yeah, landline.
What else can we do? Take care of our eyes here. Tell us more.
Yeah. So, I want to touch on the makeup thing again, because I think it's so crucial for women, especially when you are removing your makeup at night. First of all, remove your makeup at night. Do not share your makeup. So we have mites that live, they're called Demodex mites, and they live in your oil glands on your eyes, on your skin, on your face. And they also live in your lash follicles around there. And that's normal. We all have them. But they love to come out at nighttime. That is when they're most active. And that's when, they will reproduce and, more of them will happen. So when you leave all that dirty makeup on at night, they love that. That's a breeding ground for them. So removing it at night or before bed is so, so important. And using a mild remover of your choice that does not have strong chemicals, not strong alcohols, preferably, less preservatives if we can, and no oil is very important. Again, oil clogs your oil glands, so it doesn't help with healthy tear production. So just using something like micellar water, even that's a good branded one, is great. Staying away from things like waterproof mascara. Reserve that for your going out days, but everyday wear should be regular mascara because it's easier to remove. But removing your makeup, changing your products. So we say anything liquid should be changed every 3 to 6 months. So that's your eyeliners, your mascaras, anything that's a powder or a pencil that you can sharpen, 1 to 2 years is okay. So, I think like our hygiene, again, it's like brushing, it's cleaning your lashes. And when you wash your face in the shower or, in the mornings, and you use your regular face soap, rub your eyelashes too. That's hair, we like to call it dandruff, but it's, we see something called blepharitis on there where there's little dandruff pieces. So clean your eyelashes as well. That's a missed area. People usually avoid that area.
Yeah. I mean, ladies, make time to take off your makeup. It's such a lovely ritual too. It could be such a great way to get into bed.
Yeah.
And I want to say, like, that's our thinnest area of skin around our eyes. That is the thinnest area over our whole body. And it tends to get wrinkled the most as we get older. And women women care about their eye wrinkles, right? And they always come to me, how can I get rid of my wrinkles? It's so simple. Just have that eye care routine, care about your eyes, clean off your makeup properly, use good makeup, use good sunscreen, mineral sunscreen around your eyes is very good for protection there. So we have to take care of it so we can avoid the wrinkles, avoid also, if you ever go to the supermarket and look at older people, you will see their waterline is pinkish. We call it the pink eyeliner sign. And that's usually lids that are very diseased from poor hygiene for years. And we see that in a lot of the elderly population. It'll get pink to start with. And then eventually the eyelid margin will turn away, kind of turn downwards. And so aesthetically, it's not pleasing as you get older. You get wrinkles, you get all this redness and pink eyeliner sign. So, if we care about our cosmetics, then, or how we look as we get older, then definitely your eyelid hygiene is so important in that aspect as well.
Okay, so we were talking about midlife and perimenopause and menopause and just how your eyes dry out. In addition to removing our makeup, should we be like using drops? I don't know. I mean, is there any other things that we should be doing to take care of our eyes?
Absolutely. So using non-preserved, so I hate preservatives. So non-preserved artificial tears is so great. You don't want to add preservatives because again, you're just adding toxicity to your eyes that don't want it. So non-preserved artificial tears regularly. I tell people to use it twice a day. Part of their routine. You don't need to ask a doctor. You just buy non-preserved artificial tears and use it twice a day. It's like lotion, right? For your eyes. And if it has no chemicals, it's good for you. So make it part of brushing.
Can we drop a brand here? I mean, is there something that you recommend? Because I think this is fascinating. Yeah. What's do you like?
You know what? There's so many unpreserved brands. Alcon makes some great ones that are unpreserved. Bausch & Lomb has some. Labtician has some, and Taya has some. Like, there's some great ones, and they'll say unpreserved. To me, it's like just having it unpreserved is the biggest thing. And you can go over the counter and see those little bottles, and it will say unpreserved or non-preserved. But make it part of your brushing morning and night. And then you're done, right? Like you've lubricated just like you would your face. And yeah.
Can I ask, okay, so taking our makeup off, very important. So like, let's say you want to go like that extra step at night. Are we doing a warm compress on our eyes? Are we sleeping with an eye mask? Like what does the extra look like?
The extra for people who show the oil glands, which are called meibomian glands on your lash margin, where they're kind of blocked already a little bit, and your doctor can let you know. We like them to use a warm compress. These are typically moist heat masks, not just a cloth. The cloth does not retain the heat. It's useless. It goes away in like 2 seconds. But a moist heat mask, if you can get that versus a dry heat mask, will help to unclog those oil glands. So doing it at night, 10 minutes before bed is great. It also relaxes your muscles around the eyes, so helps with sleep. and helps to unclog your oil glands if they are clogged. But I'm not going to tell everybody they have to do that. That's if your glands are showing some blockages, which a lot of people do, especially post 40.
You know what? You're reminding me because my optometrist told me that. And now I have to do it. I am one of the people that need the...
Oh, you're telling on yourself. I'm so happy. Especially me.
I am too, so don't worry.
Okay, so sleep masks, yes or no?
Sleep masks that are not heated, like just to sleep
Yeah,
better?
I mean, people just put masks.
Sure. It blocks out all the light. That's great. Yeah.
Okay, cool. I was curious about that.
Okay, well, this is fascinating. Let's jump to our final question. What are you not making time for that you're going to commit to making more time for today?
Oh my gosh. Oh, that's a hard one. I feel I do make enough time for it, but I'm going to say making more time for outdoor time. That's so huge for our whole body. Sunlight, outdoor time, every part of our body is happy with that. And I feel you can never get enough of it.
I love that. That's one of my favorites. Okay. So Dr. Meenal, how do we find you?
Yeah, you can find me on Instagram. That's my most active social media platform. It's at dr.Meenal Agarwal. And then you can also find my podcast, Uncover Your Eyes, on any podcast platform.
That's great. Thank you so much for joining us today on the Make Time podcast.
I learned so much.
Thank you.
Thank you for making time.
Thank you.
Thanks for joining us today. We hope that listening to our podcast has empowered you to make more time for yourself. So make sure to subscribe. Please leave a review and share with a friend who could use a healthy reminder on the importance of making time.
And make sure to keep tuning in as we will continue to bring on incredible guests to share their Make Time tips on our upcoming episodes. And come say hi over at Make Time Pod or visit us at maketimewellness.com.
Until next time, make time.